to get the ball, whether it's bubble screens, tunnel screens, and right there, obviously, they try to get him on the counter, to get him on his edge, to use his athletic ability and his speed, but St. Charles Catholic defense did a great job that time in sniffing it out.
George Loop is committed to Dartmouth. 3rd down and 4. Newman would really love to pick up a first down out of a full house backfield. Randall running hard off the right side. He's got the first down up to the 35-yard line. This is much different than the Newman teams we've seen in the past, right? With Eli Friend and obviously Arch Manning. They got to do it a little bit differently until they're able to develop a quarterback again.
And Jake Randall, again, that time does a great job of pressing the hole. He doesn't see anything that he likes, bounces to the outside, and able to pick up a first down for this Newman offense. And I'm pretty sure this guy's summer conditioning was off the charts because he's probably had 15 carries already just in the first quarter.
Yep. He is certainly the focal point of this offense. Here we go. Loop gets it again, and a nice job coming crashing in. That was Briggs Anderson. Dax Prejean was also there defensively for the Comets. There you take a look at Briggs Anderson.
Great job that time by Briggs Anderson, setting the edge, being patient, playing his gap. A lot of times defensively, guys want to get out of position and do someone else's job. That time, Briggs Anderson did his job, took the edge, and made sure that Dax Prejean came down and finished the play off.
Briggs Anderson, a solid player, plays onto that star position. Loss of a yard that time. Randall has 3 wide receivers to his right. See if they run to the left. That's exactly what they do. As you called it earlier, Derry, they try to flood one side, but it seems like the Comets have caught on to that idea. Minimal gain of maybe a couple yards. Byron Bailey, who had 46 tackles, number 61 there in your screen, was in on the stop for the Comets.
It's amazing how offense and defense is so similar in certain ways. Sometimes defensively, you may overload one side and bring pressure from the opposite side. Same thing right here offensive. They're overloading one side, making St. Charles think they're going to run the ball their way, and then bring it back to the opposite side to try to get them off and get Jake Randall on the edge.
3rd down and 7. Randall asked to throw, and the pass is complete for a first down. That was a nice route by Collier Villery, who had 13 catches a year ago, 5 touchdown catches, and a nice pass and a catch and a nice run after the catch there by Villery.
Great job right there. Good dig route by Villery. Being patient, got upfield, got to the sticks, and Jake Randall delivered a great ball to pick up a first down.
Brooks Monica and Dax Prejean in on the stop. 1st and 10 at the 48. As Jake Randall continuing to lead this Newman offense here tonight. Pressure coming. Randall gets away from it. Randall looking downfield. He's got a good arm, and the pass is complete all the way to the 12-yard line. And there's Villery again to make another great catch.
I see why they went with Jake Randall tonight. I know we were expecting the other 2 quarterbacks, but the thing that Jake Randall has, obviously, is experience and his feet. Anytime right here you see him break the pocket. When he breaks the pocket, the DBs begin to scatter. He's able to keep his eyes down the field. Got Colin Villeray for a nice long pass, and a great pass for a guy who's going to play running back in college.
That was fantastic. And now it's 1st down and 10 at the 13. Best drive of the night for Newman. They're down by 6. Randall looking to the right side. Randall picks up about 7 or 8 yards. Just fantastic. And now I would imagine St. Charles Catholic, they might not know exactly what's going to come and hit them next, right?
I know they're going to run the football. That's for sure. I don't think that Newman right now is going to put the ball in the air. Jake Randall's doing a good job of getting to the edge. He's very patient. He's letting his linemen lead him. He's not leading his offensive lineman, and that's a prerequisite for being a great running back, that you let the O-lineman lead you, you don't lead the O-lineman. So he's doing a great job of staying behind his pads and picking up positive yards.
After watching that pass, John Summerall, the Tulane coach, probably wrote that one down. He said, wait, I'll remember that next fall, next summer, preseason camp. Like this kid could throw it a little bit. Dax Prejean coming in and making the tackle there for the Comets to set up 3rd down. from the 5. Needs to get to the 2-yard line here is Randall. I bet you this guy can do a triathlon or an Ironman, right? I mean, just outstanding shape considering how much he has ran, how much he has thrown so far here tonight. They need about 5 more yards out of him here on 3rd down and 3 from the 5. Randall barking out the signals. Here comes the blitz. Randall kept it, and he'll only get a yard. Bunch of blue jerseys there, led by Prejant. And it's 4th down, and let's see what Newman decides to do.
Good job right here this time by the St. Charles defense. Again, Monica, number 7, inside linebacker, using his eyes, following that pull on the guard, getting downhill, and the D lineman able to crash down and make the tackle.
Caden Azvedo was also there on the tackle. 4th down and about 3. Randall will keep it. He got a block, and we have a whistle, and there may be a legal procedure penalty.
False start.
So that backs him up 5 yards.
That'll cost them 5. It'll be 4th and 8.
And let's see if they keep the offense out there.
And that false start, Jeff, may have helped them. I don't think they would have got it. Looked like that St. Charles had enough numbers defensively to make that stop. So if they're able to make this field goal, you cut the lead in half. The defense is playing pretty solid for Newman, so the false start may have helped out Newman if he can cash in this field goal.
Falgout, 27-yard field goal try. Heads to the uprights, and it is good. So that cuts the lead in half. A great drive there by the Greenies to get something and shift some of the momentum back in their direction after that great punt return for a touchdown by Kristen McLean. Let's take a look at who our sponsors are tonight, starting with Coca-Cola Real Magic. And also brought to you by Louisiana Army National Guard. Protect what matters. Ochsner and the Ochsner Andrews Sports Medicine Institute. And tonight's broadcast brought to you by the Louisiana Farm Bureau Federation, the voice of Louisiana agriculture. Jeff Palermo, Derry Beckwith, Steve Schneider down on the sidelines. And the Greenies get on the scoreboard, and it's a 6-3 game.
So Jake Randall reminds me of the quarterback last year, and for me and Catholic,
Yes.
Dar,
Yes.
who set a record for the most rushes in the state championship game. If I was a betting man, and I'm not, I believe Jake Randall may be close to breaking that record tonight for the most rushes in a single football game.
Yeah, you're talking about Jonathan Dar. So on to kick it off here, Jack
For the
Falgout.
Greenies, number 10, Jack Falgout.
Falgout has it teed up. Squib kick here that's going to go out of bounds.
Kickoff goes out of bounds.
So even situations like that, you don't want to.
He wants it at the third.
Because now you give this offense a short field, and we talk about the keys to the game. Make sure that St. Charles
Kickoff
drives
out of
the
bounds.
field, but now you give them a short
Newman,
field
number
and
10.
possibly get them in
Penalty
the
will
rhythm
be assessed at the
offensively.
35-yard line. 1st down.
So now from the 35-yard line. Landry LeBlanc got some valuable experience last year as a first-time starter. Took some lumps, but the game has certainly slowed down for him. Checks with the sidelines here. Very coachable kid. And a handoff to Edwards. Edwards on this slow developing play ends up picking up 6 or 7 yards, and he ended up getting out of bounds. But this is one of those stretch handoffs, Derry, where the quarterback runs a long way before he finally hands it off to the back.
That was an elaborated stretch play. That took a long time to develop. Looked like the mesh point wasn't quite there, but I get what they were doing. But obviously, Skylar Edwards, with his speed and his vision, was able to pick up positive yards.
Edwards had 8 touchdowns last year, averaged just over 4 yards a carry. He got 6 on that carry. 8 seconds now to go in this opening quarter. of the 2025 high school football season from LaPlace. Now the pitch to Edwards. Newman has it defended pretty well, though, and he only picks up a couple yards. A.J. Unisa was in on the tackle. Big play on special teams. You see it in week 1 a lot. Special teams making plays. Kristen McLean on the 96-yard punt return for a touchdown, and the Comets lead at 6-3 on the LHSA network.
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard, part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
The LHSAA Network TV app features a 24/7 live channel as well as on-demand content with all the high school sports you want, and it's totally free. The app is available for download on TV-connected devices, including Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. It's the only place where every day is game day. Download the LHSAA Network TV app today. Jeff Palermo, Derry Beckwith, Steve Schneider with you. Second quarter from LaPlace. St. Charles Catholic and Newman. Good strong run here off the right side by Skylar Edwards. Got about 5 or 6 yards on that first down run. And that's going to put the football into Newman territory. Or, no, actually, they'll mark it right at the 50-yard line. Skylar Edwards is a good back. This guy ended up getting hurt last year. I mean, one of the things that really hampered the Comets last year, all kinds of injuries. Skylar Edwards was one of those guys. He got hurt in the scrimmage last year, didn't come back until week 4. But they're going to lean on him this year as long as he stays healthy. Running the football here is LeBlanc, and he picks up a couple of yards. Unisa on the tackle. Now a third down coming up as you take a look at starting quarterback, Landry LeBlanc. Can make all the throws. He's got a nice size to him, can step up in the pocket. He'll run the ball a little bit. He ran it a little bit against East St. John in the Jamboree. Good work ethics, too. Just checks a lot of the boxes that you want out of your starting quarterback. 3rd down and 3. And he'll keep it again here. Makes an, oh, he just got tripped up. Getting a hand on the shoe. Corbett Perino, and that stopped LeBlanc from getting the first down by 2 yards.
Great job by Corbett Perino coming down from his linebacker position, taking on the block thick, getting off the block and making a play. Outstanding job that time by Corbett Perino.
Comets will keep the offense on the field, looking at 4th down and a short 2. Evan Dufour comes into the game, another one of their running backs. He rushed for 173 yards. He only got 5 seconds on the play clock here. 2 seconds on the play clock. And there's flags down, and that just didn't look good at all. Legal procedure penalty is going to be called.
Stop. False start. St. Charles, number 43. 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
That's another thing, Derry, that you sometimes see in a game-like setting, that 4th down play. Are we going to go for it? Are we not? Okay, we're going to go for it. Let's get the play in. Let's get up to the line of scrimmage, and it just didn't look good at all. Jacques Vicner looked like he moved a little bit too early.
It didn't look good from the start. I think at that time you want to take a timeout because it looked rushed, and in a game like this, penalties and mistakes can cost you. So at that point, I think they should have called a timeout to regroup, but obviously get this ball back into this Newman offense.
Prejean punted it into the end zone, and so Newman will get the football back at the 20-yard line.
Comet fans, we want to take this opportunity to recognize our award-winning Comet
The
cheerleaders.
High School Spotlight is in its third season and airs live on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on the LHSAA Network live channel. The High School Spotlight features all the top stories in high school athletics from around the state in all LHSAA sports. First down and 10 at the 20 now here for Newman. And it's still going to be Jake Randall as Ren Guidry and Jalen Hunter. They struggled in the Jamboree last week against De La Salle, so we were wondering, what would Aaron Weiss decide to do? And a game like this against a quality team with St. Charles Catholic, he's going to give it to his leader, Randall, and let him run the show. Running it off the left end, a good hard run from George Loop. Picked up about 4 or 5 yards, and he finished off that run with some physicality.
So this Newman offense is putting a little bit of pressure on the St. Charles defense. Having Randall and having Luke in the backfield at the same time, using two of your most dynamic athletes, it kind of makes the defense think who's getting the ball. They run a lot of counters and RPOs with Randall. He can either give it or pull it. So if you're playing backs as a backside defender, you have to be really patient and disciplined in your gap.
Hendricks Hill is the wide receiver all the way to the near side. His dad, former NFL, LSU Tiger, Eric Hill, under all kinds of pressure is Randall, but he's able to escape and stays on his feet, and I think he's got enough for the first down. What a tremendous run by Jake Randall.
Well, I just said stay backside. And Briggs Anderson does a great job, but Jake Randall, great athlete, able to make something out of nothing, turns the ball up the field, and gets Newman to a third and manageable position.
Well, he must have stepped out of bounds at about the 28. Newman's going to use a timeout. They'll talk about it. They probably need to give Randall a bit of a breather here. So let's take a break with them. 8:51 to go before halftime. St. Charles Catholic 6, Newman 3. You're watching the LHSAA Network.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh, no, they missed it. Wait a minute. There's a flag on the play.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice.
On third down and 3, guess who keeps it? Randall gets flipped over, but I think he's got the first down. My goodness. I mean, he went up about 10 feet in the air, and that's no exaggeration, and he's going to have to take a breather after that one.
Right here, a quarterback sweep off the edge, sticks his foot in the ground, elevates, and my goodness, it lands on his head. In this first half, I'm not going to kid you, Jake Randall has gained all my respect.
Wow.
The toughness, the grit, the tenacity from this kid. And Jeff, we've seen a lot of high school football. We've seen a lot of great running backs, but this kid has heart that's unmatched that we have not seen from a lot of football players in the state of Louisiana.
So it looks like Ren Guidry now in at quarterback. Guidry running around, trying to get away from the rush. Guidry, he'll get hammered and he'll lose about 3 yards. Briggs Anderson delivers the blow, a loss of about 3. And welcome to the 2025 season, Mr. Ren Guidry.
Well, Ren Guidry kind of gets thrown in the fire. And Mr. Briggs Anderson says, welcome to the fire. So Briggs Anderson does a great job that time again, playing disciplined football, not doing someone else's job, doing his job, keeping contained, coming downhill, keeps his shoulder pads down, tracks the inside hip, makes a great tackle.
Ren Guidry, a cerebral player, understands where the ball should go. He's really made some good strides here over the last couple of weeks, but nothing happening now on the ground game. as St. Charles Catholic led by Byron Bailey. And now the Greenies looking at 3rd down and long, and I think Randall, well, I think they're going to keep him out just for another play here on 3rd and long. Passing situation, might as well keep Ren out there and see if he can make something happen, but boy, the Comets got after it defensively on that play.
Good job that time by Brian Bailey, sniffing the run out, getting upfield, shooting the gap, getting skinny, making a tackle in the backfield.
So 3rd down and about 15. They got to get to the 40. The ball just outside the 25-yard line. Guidry surveying the defense. He wants to get rid of it quickly, and he does, and it's incomplete. Defensively, Briggs Anderson was there, and after a gutsy effort by Jake Randall to pick up at least 1 first down, that drive fizzled as soon as Randall left the game.
It's almost seemed like the offense has kind of lost their groove when Randall went off the game, and that's a tough spot for Ren Guidry to come in. I'm pretty sure Coach Weiss told him, look, just manage the game. Don't come in and make a mistake. Punt the football and see if our defense can hold the St. Charles offense.
McLean standing in his own 39. Alex Roth punting into a gentle win here in Laplace. They come after him again. Low punt. And it's going to take a Comets bounce and down at the 50-yard line. Thomas Smallpage able to down the football. Say that again. Let's take a look at your starting lineups. Never had an opportunity to really get those in. Brought to you by the Louisiana Farm Bureau Federation. LeBlanc, your quarterback. Maddox, Madeir, Edwards, Walker, LeBlanc, Claude Remedet, Gabe Kugler, Jacques Vicnair, Colt Krieg. Also on that offensive line, Parker Millette, Aiden Lowry, and Logan Dewhurst. Good run here and all the way to the 39-yard line as Landry LeBlanc picks up the first down for the Comets. This offensive line for St. Charles Catholic bringing 4 starters back. As you take a look at Newman's defense, O'Boyle, Roth, Jackson, Gardner, Uensa, Perino, Singer, Drake, Malcolm Scherer, Kasparian, and then Falgu. But this offensive line for St. Charles Catholic, Jacques Vicnair and Charles Taylor, those guys lead the way. Aiden Lowry is a 2-year starter. All kinds of pressure and incomplete on the pass over the middle.
LeBlanc's pass pressured, intended for 18. Walker LeBlanc.
They threw it a lot versus U-High in the scrimmage, but they wanted to kind of test out their passing game that night. We got a water break. St. Charles Catholic's leading Newman 6-3. So we'll take the break with them here on the LHSAA Network.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard. Part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
Back in Laplace, Jeff Palermo, along with former Parkview Baptist grade and LSU Tiger national champion Derry Beckwith. Steve Schneider down on the sidelines. Landry LeBlanc, the quarterback for St. Charles Catholic. Looking at 2nd down and 10. I was talking about it. They're going to lean a lot on Skylar Edwards running the football, but in that scrimmage against U-High, they threw it a lot just to test that out. You got Vicnair on that offensive line, who's a 3-year starter, all-district player. He's been playing really varsity ball since his freshman season. So they rely on him a lot. Number 77, the left tackle. Gabe Kugler is the tight end right next to him. On 2nd and 10. Aaron Weiss felt really good about his defense so far. They've done a nice job here tonight. St. Charles Catholic's only score a punt return. And a good job there by the Greenies defense. Coming in and crashing in there again is Perino.
Right here, Corbett Perino does a great job of staying tight off the edge on that blitz, stays tight to the offensive lineman hip, doesn't give up any creases to that running back. Second big play by Corbett Perino made tonight, so I'm extremely impressed by big number 56. Anytime a linebacker wears number 56, you know he's bringing it, Jeff.
He's tough, he's smart, he's a returning starter, and he has forced a 3rd down and 12 here for the Comets. LeBlanc takes the low snap. They bring the blitz. They set up the screen, and it's perfect. Skylar Edwards able to break through one tackle, but not the second one. As Ian O'Boyle made the tackle about 4 yards shy of the first down.
Right here, they try to confuse this Newman defense. They release the offensive lineman, try to get something going with Edwards. But again, Ben Singer able to read it, make the tackle, waited till the cavalry came and came down, made the tackle.
There was a penalty on the Comets, so that's going to back him up. So now it's 3rd and long, and you can see it's going to be about 3rd down and 22 here for LeBlanc and company.
I think Coach Wayne Stein's going to make his team run sprints at halftime. Talking to him, he preached discipline, he preached not making mistakes, and so it's been a complete opposite in this first half for the St. Charles offense.
You're looking at 3rd down and 21. They try to screen again. This time they get it to Walker LeBlanc. He shot out of there like a cannon. Got all the way up to the 36-yard line, but he's still 5 yards shy of the first down. Boy, LeBlanc showing some speed here, Terry.
He did a great job. No wasted motions, no wasted time. When you get that screen pass, you get up the field, plant the foot in the ground. A lot of guys want to dance around. He didn't do that. Got up field and picked up some positive yards. Now it's 4th-down territory, so obviously they're going to go for it right now.
Yeah, Walker LeBlanc, known as a possession receiver here on this offense, a guy that can make a defender miss, can help them move the chains. So 4th down, there's just 9 seconds on the play clock. Looks like they're going to let it tick down and then call a timeout and talk about it. And that's exactly what they're going to do.
Timeout, St. Charles Catholic.
It's a smart move. Last time they rushed and had a penalty.
Yep. For the 2nd year running, the LHSAA Network brings you a 1-hour football highlight show that covers the entire state of Louisiana, from Bossier to the Bayou. Friday night in the boot, we'll have it all, so make sure you watch each Friday night this fall starting at 11 p.m. And make sure to catch the show on the LHSAA Network live channel, or you can watch it live on the Gulf Coast Sports and Entertainment Network. It's great to have high school sports back. You know, there's volleyball, cross country all underway, and of course everybody can't wait for the start of football season. It's always weird when the calendar falls like this, Derry, and that we already have a weekend of college football. Well, 2 if you count week 0. And now we're finally into the regular season of the high school football season. So they're going for it on 4th down and 5. Edwards lined up to the right of LeBlanc. Dufour is the wide receiver in motion. A couple hard counts here from LeBlanc. 4 seconds on the play clock. It looks like they're going to just try to draw them off sides. They are unable to. Good job by Newman to hold their water, and it's going to force the Comets to punt.
St. Charles, number 12, 5 yards.
Great job that time by that
4th
Newman
down.
defense, holding their own, being disciplined, looking at the ball, not going off the cadence, and they get another stop defensively. Let's see if this Newman offense can get something going, and obviously Jake Randall got a much-needed break, and see if he can get this offense going again.
Prejean had 7 punts inside the 20-yard line a year ago. He's already punted 1 into the end zone. And good hang time on this one. It bounces inside the 10, and it's going to be down at the 10. That's a great punt by Prejean. Looks like that was Jaira Hall who went down there and downed it. So let's take a look at Newman's starting lineup. And we did not see Ren Guidry start. Instead, it was Jake Randall starting at quarterback. We've already seen Villery make a play, Loop, Augie Soska. Perino goes both ways playing left tackle. Charles and Henry Jackson, they're brothers obviously, and then Emery Wolfson is the right tackle. And that is brought to you by the Louisiana Farm Bureau. Freshman Charles Jackson on that offensive line. Henry Jackson, he's going to Cornell. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Randall back into the game, and he goes down in a hurry. 3 Comet defenders there, led by Brooks Monica, who had 6.5 tackles for a loss a season ago, and number 7 gets one there. And we take a look at the starting lineup for the Comets: Byron Bailey, Ian Frank, Tyler Bovia, Acevedo, Monica, Merricks, McLean, James Tyson, Dax Brazion, Bryce Dupard, and then Briggs Anderson, who's already made several tackles in this game. 2nd down and 14. Both offenses have struggled to move the football here tonight. More great defense from the Comets. Flying through there was Creed Merricks, who was the 2nd leading tackler a season ago with 66.5 tackles.
Good job that time by 44 Creed Maddox, scraping downhill, getting on the edge, and making a tough tackle on a very talented running back.
He feeds off of Brooks Monica. Those two been playing together for a long time. And you got Ian Frank back as well on that defensive line. 3rd down and 11. Let's see what they ask Randall to do. He's been the quarterback the most of the way. Don't want to make a mistake here. Pass is complete, but short of that 1st down marker. They ran that slant again. He had the time to throw it, and Villery made the catch. Short of the 1st down.
It's going to be interesting right here to see what Coach Weiss wants to do. Obviously, it's 4th down, and they're definitely in St. Charles territory. But 6'3", haven't got anything going offensively, haven't scored a touchdown yet. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can maybe go forward and see. But put a Lane Kiffin, going forward in his own territory. I know football now is based on analytics, but maybe to get something going, get a spark, you go for it. I don't know if I would, but
yeah, I don't know.
It looks like he may be thinking about it.
I asked Aaron Weiss, how do you feel? Your first game as a head coach, 41 years old. You've been waiting for this opportunity. He said, no different. No different. He's like, I'm not the one going out there to playing. I'm just here calling the plays, which I normally do. It is a little different for him. He's now calling plays on the sidelines instead of in the press box like he's done the last 6 years. And here's a guy that knows something about coaching. That's, of course, Frank Monica, the Hall of Fame coach, legendary coach. And you'll see him on the sidelines here. You'll see him on the sidelines at Rummel, where his son, Nick Monica, is the head coach, and he's responsible for that state championship in 2011. And you can say he's also responsible for the championships in 21 and 22. So they do keep the offense on the field here on 4th down. Now, this might be another situation where you're just trying to draw them off sides. You got 4 seconds on the play clock. And, yeah, that's all they were trying to do there, Derry. Worth a shot, I guess.
It was. And, you kind of want to keep this defense on their heels. And you don't want to rush it. 6'3", your defense is playing outstanding. Both defenses are playing outstanding, playing a real good job against the run. Both D linemen are containing and holding the line of scrimmage. So want to go in a half down 6'3", it's a good decision by Coach Weiss and his Newman offense.
There you take a look again at the sign here. Frank Monica Field and Game Changers. Frank Monica was a game changer. So starting this fall on Sundays at 6:30, you can catch Game Changers, which showcases the athletes and coaches making waves in Louisiana high school sports. And don't forget to watch archived episodes on demand on the LHSAA Network TV app. Roth on the punt once again. Needs to get off a good one here. McLean responsible for the only touchdown here tonight. And he lets this one bounce. And it's going to be down at the 37. Great job by Roth to flip the field.
Punt rolls dead at the Comets 37-yard line. First down.
So the Comets just have one timeout left, 2:31 to go before halftime.
if I'm St. Charles right now offensively, I may take a shot down the field on this first down. Newman safeties are playing really tight to the line of scrimmage. If I'm St. Charles, maybe do max protection, run a two-man route and try to get a deep post, because look how close these safeties are playing. Maybe you can get behind the defense and see if you can take a deep shot on this first down play.
LeBlanc will run it. LeBlanc shakes off one defender, cannot get away from the second defender. Excellent pursuit by this Newman defense. Jack Falgu, the senior, comes up and makes the tackle.
Great job right here. They try to do the quarterback draw. Again, if you see the line of scrimmage, Newman D lineman is pushing this O-lineman back from St. Charles and getting great penetration. Great stop that time.
Pass is going to be, did he catch it? No, he did not. That ball hit the ground before it got to LeBlanc. And it's third down and about 7 at the 40.
See, it's tricky because if you throw the ball on first down, and if you don't get it, now you can run the ball on second down, but now you stop the clock. It's third down. If you get opportunity, if you don't make it, you get the ball back into this Newman's back into the hands of this Newman offense. That's why it's always key sometimes right before the half. Take a shot on first down. If you don't make it, the clock stops. But then right here now, it's third down, and if you don't make it again, you put yourself in a peculiar situation.
So third down and 7. LeBlanc throws before he gets hit, and it's complete. Walker LeBlanc makes the catch. First down in the Newman territory to the 42-yard line. Nice job by Landry LeBlanc to hang in there before he got popped.
That's a great job by Landry LeBlanc, keeping his eyes down the field. He knew the pressure was coming. He was able to deliver to Walker LeBlanc on that dig route and picked up a huge first down for the St. Charles offense.
Set up the screen again to Skylar Edwards. Edwards spun off a tackler to the 36-yard line is where they mark him down. And he got about 6 or 7 on that play, did Skylar Edwards. Edwards had 8 catches a season ago. Like running the screen game here at St. Charles Catholic. Second down and 3. Half roll. Oh, nice job there by LeBlanc. Now he's got to try to run for it. A little behind the back there. I don't know if I've ever seen a quarterback do that before, but that was a nice job by Lance LeBlanc before a Newman defender nearly poked that football free.
Great job that time by Lance LeBlanc, little point guard right behind the back. If you remember a few years ago, Jalen Hurts did that at Oklahoma, went behind his back. So a la Jalen Hurts, and that time keeping the ball protected and not turning the ball over. Great job that time by Lance LeBlanc.
Archie Kasparin made the tackle. St. Charles Catholic uses its last timeout. They'll bring up third down and 4.
It's amazing what a couple completions it can do for a quarterback, and you start to try stuff. You have more confidence, have a little more swagger. So I think with Landry LeBlanc going to the second half, they may let him rip it a little bit more and throw the ball downfield.
Yeah, Coach Stein, when we were talking about Landry LeBlanc, he talked about saying, hey, we're trying to get his confidence up because we know he can make a lot of plays. They probably admit that, they threw him into the fire last year before he was ready, but he should be able to reap the benefits from a trying season a year ago. Third down and 4. He can do a lot of different things here, and they're going to just run it, and it'll be close. They may have to measure this one. They're already signaling fourth down and inch. Nope, now they're going to say first down. The yardstick on the opposite side had fourth down, and then the officials, once they marked it down at the 38 or 33, that was enough for a first down. Again, no timeouts, and exactly a minute to go before half. Edwards on the left hip, and the pocket collapses around LeBlanc, and all he can do is get a yard. He's got to quickly get the guys back up at the line of scrimmage here. Again, this is something that he'll just down it. They'll bring up third down. This is, again, hard to replicate these kind of situations, Derry, in practice.
It is, and talking to Coach Stein early in the week, Landry LeBlanc has all the tools to be a great quarterback. He talked about him almost being too coachable. They want him to ad-lib a little bit more, use his athletic ability, and so hopefully they can get him going, get his confidence going, and maybe end his half with some points.
Andrew LeBlanc, a pitcher, appeared in the 2024 state championship game. Coach Wayne Stein, a lot of confidence in the young man. Put him in a tough situation against the U-High Cubs. 3rd down and 9, rolling out. Pressure from the backside, and the screen is there. Skylar Edwards inside the 20. Edwards will be brought down inside the 10-yard line. A well-designed play by the Comets.
Great play call that time by St. Charles offensive coordinator. Rolls out to the right. They've been doing this all night long, so Newman's thinking it's going to roll out, look down the field. Does a backside screen to Edwards, keeps his eyes down the field, gets up, makes a man miss, and the most important thing, Jeff, he was able to get out of bounds to stop the clock.
Right at the 10-yard line. Again, Chris Chetta is the new offensive coordinator here at St. Charles. Called a perfect play for the perfect situation. Now Edwards to the right of LeBlanc. LeBlanc looking to his right. Zips one to the end zone. Touchdown, Comets! As he finds Walker LeBlanc. And a great drive there by St. Charles Catholic to get some points on the board before halftime.
Great job by the St. Charles offense, making big plays. It started with the third long play, getting the ball down the field, picking up the 1st down. It's able to end the half with a touchdown. He's going to lead his offense going to the second half with a lot of confidence.
Last extra point try was blocked. That's a bad snap. Now running it is LeBlanc. LeBlanc will go down, and they fail to convert on an extra point for a second time tonight. But Walker LeBlanc gets open into the end zone, and we've seen Landry LeBlanc. He looks like a confident quarterback in that pocket, Derry.
Doing a great job. It seems like to settle in. They bring a fire blitz off the edge, and he goes right to the spot where the guy came from and hit Jaden Gross right there for a touchdown.
Good.
Excuse me, Walker LeBlanc for a touchdown.
Hendricks Hill was on the coverage, but good route. Nice job by Walker LeBlanc to get himself open in the end zone, and that's some big points being scored right before half. The Comets will get the football to begin the second half.
Him and Walker LeBlanc had a nice connection on this drive. Got a lot of continuity going. That's continuity going. That's important for a quarterback to have a receiver that you can lean on, especially in tough situations.
Nice job there by Landry LeBlanc. And a great play call on that 3rd down on the screen. Got St. Charles Catholic in there. Newman's defense couldn't come up with the stop. Liliotto has it teed up. End over end kick. Going to be returned from the 2. Loop will be brought down at about the 17-yard line, and with just 18 seconds to go, I don't imagine Newman is going to do anything too crazy here. Maybe just run the ball with Jake Randall, see if they can pick up a few yards. They have 2 timeouts. Or do you throw a pass here, Derry, and hope that maybe a wide receiver can break a tackle, and then who knows what might happen?
You never know. I think they made us go into halftime and try to regroup, and you don't want to get too behind. I think sometimes they may have to get creative in the second half offensively to try to get the ball in the end zone.
They'll actually hand it off to Robert, and Robert is close to that 1st down marker. Good run off the left side.
Tanner Logan on the carry for the Greenies.
And there is an injured St. Charles Catholic player.
Looks like Griggs Anderson, who's been all over the field tonight for this Comet defense. Hopefully, it's just a cramp.
Yep.
Still hot.
It is very hot.
So,
very hot, and they obviously try to prevent these situations from happening, but it's still very difficult. especially as much as, when you got guys going both ways on this, for some of these guys, on these two teams. And Briggs will have an opportunity at halftime to try to, and that's actually going to be the end of the first half. Since he didn't get the first down, that allowed the clock, the remaining seconds to run off the clock. Everybody can get hydrated here at half. And St. Charles Catholic, after a 4-win season a year ago, expecting much bigger things this year. It wasn't perfect first half, but they're up by 9 over the Newman Greenies as they were able to get a really nice drive there before half. And Steve Schneider has Coach Wayne Stein now.
That's right, Jeff. Coach for most of the first half. I don't like laundry, and a guy who runs this program without mistakes, with clean special teams. I wondered what you were thinking.
Yeah, it was sloppy on both sides. Both teams are kind of trying to control the clock. We were pretty putrid early on offense. Did a nice job of finding a way to get some points late, and hopefully we get the ball back here and we can kind of double up. But they put Randall at quarterback, and he's being a real quarterback. He's a hell of a player. Our defense is doing a nice job. Big return by McLean, but we got a lot to clean up on special teams.
You said earlier this week, coaches don't like players who don't do anything the coach says to do or wants to do everything the coach says to do. Kristen McLean fielded that ball inside the 5, headed back toward the goal line, but that's a decision he made to get a big play for you.
It is, and our defensive coordinator who deals with him every day says, we're going to tell you what the scenario is, but whatever decision you make, you got to be able to live with it. So we're going to live with that one. Let's hope that we get a couple more of those in the second half.
We really saw your offense come to life. A lot of really good play calls here late in the second quarter.
We did. We got to throw the ball. They're really loading the box and trying to stop our run game. And we found a little rhythm, and hopefully we can continue to get that going.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half. So Aaron Weiss said it would be a
St. Charles Catholic up by 9. This touchdown pass, our only offensive score. We also had a punt return for a touchdown. And the Comets lead it by 9 here on the LHSAA Network.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
The start of school means the start of new sports seasons, which unfortunately can mean injuries. Too often, sports injuries are treated with opioids, leading to addiction among our youth. And drug addictions can cause overdoses and deaths. If you're injured, ask your doctor for medicines and therapies that don't use opioids. And if you're struggling with opioid addiction, we can offer treatment. Opioid addiction is a losing game. You can help. Learn more at realhelpvr.com. That's realhelpvr.com.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
back here at St. Charles Catholic, who leads the Newman Greenies 12-3. Last year for St. Charles Catholic, a tough season where they went 4-7 after 5 straight trips to the state championship game. The Zachary Broncos also had an early exit from the playoffs a season ago, and here on the LHSA Network, we've previewed over 40 different teams, and one of them, David Brewerton and the Zachary Broncos.
Urgency, discipline, attitude. 3 words you hear from the Broncos after a less than stellar 2024.
So, is this going
Especially
Super
on
8?
defense, where stars Isaiah Stokes and Dylan Shellmeyer set the edge and set the tone for a 2025 rebound.
Destroy everything in your path. Make sure everybody, take out everybody. That's the mentality. That's the mentality I have to go with.
Whenever we getting on somebody, they'll be able to take criticism instead of, crying about it, having something to say or talking back.
Head coach David Brewerton has plenty of skins on the wall, but he's plugging in a first-year senior quarterback, Michael Kirby, in hopes of sparking an offense that features standout wideout and hoop star Christian Brooks.
Ever since Kirby came down, it was messages after messages, days after days, just let's go to the field, let's work on time and things like that. So that's what we've been doing. I have 100% trust in Kirby. We actually been playing Little League with each other since 5-6 years old. So it's, a reunion for him to come back to Zachary, our last year, and, us be able to connect on many passes this year, touchdowns.
Anytime that, you can have an established run game, I think that's going to kind of settle things down a little bit with your quarterback, where he doesn't feel like he's got to be making all the plays on every single play.
Motivation has spread like wildfire through this Broncos roster, especially with the seniors. The disappointment of an early exit from the playoffs at Ruston in the second round after facing the same foe in the Dome the year before.
I don't want them to forget that feeling. I talk about it a lot. When you lose that football game, that last one, and it's early on, there's a certain feeling you have inside your body, right? There's a level of regret that's there. And so if you can draw on that taste in your mouth from that night, I think it helps you.
Do not leave no doubt anytime that you play a game, because if you leave doubt, it leads to regret.
Like the seniors that tell us, everything don't really last long, so you got to play every game like it's your last. So, we need to get the Z back on track.
Leaving no doubt that living with regret will not again be an option. And instead of last year's 4-letter words, these guys will roll with 4 words and 1 letter. Not the Z, but the J. Fight the J way, in memory of the tragic death of teammate Jacarius Johnson to cancer at age 17 this summer.
Tough off season for our guys, dealing with losing one of their brothers, one of their teammates, a guy who's been through the thick and thin with these guys, who's bled with these guys in some tough situations, right? And so he's certainly part of this whole thing, and our guys don't want to forget him, and they shouldn't want to forget him, and so Jay and his parents would have given anything to have a senior year, right? And unfortunately that didn't get to take place, but he's going to have one with us regardless.
That man, he was like a brother to me, and it's hard losing him, but I know what the season's going to mean a lot. It's going to mean a lot to his family. It's going to mean a lot to the whole community, winning it for him. So that's something that I'm wanting to do, badly. I'm wanting it, hungry for it every day.
Just having that motivation, having that in the back of our minds that, everything we do, got to fight the J way. It doesn't matter how hard adversity get, got to fight how he was fighting, when he was going through his situation.
The LHSAA Network TV app features a 24/7 live channel as well as on-demand content with all the high school sports you want, and it's totally free. The app is available for download on TV-connected devices, including Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. It's the only place where every day is game day. Download the LHSAA Network TV app today.
At Breck Golf, our courses are your courses. A place for family and friends to come together to enjoy the great outdoors. to work on your swing or get in the game. It's all just minutes away. With convenient locations around the parish and online tee time bookings, it's easy to find your next hole-in-one with Breck Golf.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute. There's a flag on the play.
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard, part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
Tonight's broadcast here on the LHSAA Network brought to you by Coca-Cola, Real Magic. Also brought to you by Louisiana Army National Guard, protect what matters. Also brought to you by Auctioner and the Auctioner Andrews Sports Medicine Institute and the Louisiana Farm Bureau Federation, the voice of Louisiana agriculture. 12-3 is our score. St. Charles Catholic leading Newman. We'll have highlights of the first half when we come back.
No one ever thinks they'll be in this position. Buying medication online could put you here, or here, or here. Counterfeit pills and other illicit substances are being laced with fentanyl, and fentanyl kills. It's 50 times stronger than heroin. Medical professionals can't even tell the difference between a real pill and one that is fake. At least not until they do your autopsy. Don't take anything online that doesn't come from your doctor. Buying online can leave you flatlined.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard, part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
Back at halftime here at St. Charles Catholic, where the Comets are leading the Newman Greenies 12-3. St. Charles Catholic getting a touchdown right before halftime to take a 9-point lead. Jeff Palermo along with Derry Beckwith, and a lot of times you see it in the season opener, Derry. Offenses struggle. St. Charles Catholic, though, for them, very nice to see them get that drive right before halftime.
It's a lot of things both offenses need to clean up going to halftime. Being the first game, a lot of mistakes, a lot of penalties, but you expect that with the first game. Obviously, St. Charles got it going in their first half in the passing game.
An electrifying 96-yard punt return for a touchdown by Krisden McLean. There was a flag that came down. He just saw it there, but it was actually a face mask penalty on Newman. But what a return. What a way to get the first touchdown of the season. And then what we saw from Newman, a lot of Jake Randall, and he was able to move the Greenies offense into scoring position, and they finished the drive off with that field goal from Jack Falgout. Here's Randall getting upended. Look out, coming back down. And here is St. Charles Catholic, their best play really from scrimmage on the screen pass to Skylar Edwards. And then Landry LeBlanc threw 12 touchdown passes. Last year he gets his first for 2025. They did not convert on the extra point, so it is 12-3. Those highlights brought to you by Coca-Cola Real Magic. So St. Charles Catholic will get the ball to begin the second half. A huge drive defensively coming up for the Newman Greenies, Derry.
Huge drive because St. Charles has a lot of momentum. Obviously, they ended their first half with the touchdown. Again, I think Landry LeBlanc has great confidence now as he was able to get a good drive going. So for Newman, they have to get a great stop defensively to see if they get the ball back to the hands of Jake Randall. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Let's send it down to Steve Schneider.
Guys, I just visited with Aaron Vice, and he admitted the plan all week was to run Jake Randall at quarterback. He's got the best arm, 4.5 speed, quickness, strong and tough. Do anything for his team. Does that sound like Taysom Hill? That's what this guy is going to mean to this team if they're going to come back in the second half.
Yep, good point there. He is kind of a Taysom Hill mode, and a good return there for the Comets to the 28-yard line.
And for the St. Charles offense, with Landry LeBlanc, we talked about it. He has the tools, and the coaches want him to ad-lib a little bit more. So let me see the interest in his drive if they put the ball in his hands, let him throw it around the field a little bit, and see if he can get another drive going for a touchdown.
First down and 10 at the 28. LeBlanc, they'll run the option, and he'll keep it, staying on his feet, and then finally brought down. So he picked up 6 yards. Unisa made the tackle.
Good job right there. A little wrinkle in the St. Charles offense to run a speed option to the short side of the field. Landry LeBlanc did an excellent job of not pitching the ball, being patient, picked up some positive yards, able to break a tackle.
Second down and about 4 here for the Comets. Landry LeBlanc seems like his confidence has been growing as this game has been going on for the Comets. They'll run it straight ahead here to Skylar Edwards, and a big hole right up the middle, up to the 46-yard line.
Now, Jeff, the power eye kind of brings a tear to my eye. I haven't seen a power eye since I was in high school. Right here, you see eye formation, a power right up the middle. Skylar Edwards does a good job of finding that hole, getting upfield, no wasted steps. When you run the power like this, you don't want to have any happy feet. Want to get the ball downhill, get upfield. Great job by Skylar Edwards picking up the first down.
So to the 45-yard line. Greenies need to do something here defensively. As St. Charles Catholic really starting to flex its muscles now. Another good little hole off the right side there for Edwards, and he gets about 5 or 6. And that offensive line for St. Charles Catholic, a veteran group, as I mentioned, returning 4 starters, starting to impose their will here on this Newman defense. And early in the second half, and you're already starting to see a lot of hands on the hips as you take a look at Coach Aaron Weiss, very concerned right now, just kind of standing on his own, watching his defense, seeing if they can make a play. LeBlanc, here comes the pressure, able to get rid of it. Right in his face was Kasparian, and that will set up 3rd and 4.
Good job that time by the Newman defense and Kasparian, who has been in the backfield multiple times tonight, coming off the edge at that nickel star position, getting the quarterback's face and making them make an errant throw.
Now trying to get a defensive stop here for Newman. 3rd down and 4. They check with the sidelines. LeBlanc will get underneath center. Long count to Edwards. Straight ahead, puts his head down, and he's got the 1st down. Really good, strong run. Good job by the offensive line again. And that's what Skylar Edwards can do for you when it comes to the ground game, Derry.
Good job that time. That an offset fullback. Did a split lead up the middle. Got his shoulder pad squared. Got downhill. He knew he didn't need a lot of yards. So no wasted motions again. And you see in the second half right now, this offensive line for St. Charles, they're the ones getting the push. They're moving the line of scrimmage. So I feel like Wayne Stein had a great talk with them at halftime, saying, guys, we got to be a lot more physical.
Skylar Edwards does have a chance to play college football at the next level, probably at a smaller school. 1st and 10. Play action fake here for LeBlanc. He gets hit when he throws, and it's intercepted. Flags are down. And it was picked off by Jack Falgood, a senior free safety, but there are 2 flags down. We'll have to see what that's all about.
Pass interference on the defense. Number 1. 15-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
Malcolm Scherer commits the penalty. And he was hanging over the back of the receiver, and that's what the referee saw.
I want to see if we get a better angle there, like an end zone angle. I didn't see too much contact from that angle. Obviously, Lance LeBlanc is glad that they did get a pass interference, because that was an air throw, a throw that you should not make, especially with that pressure in your face.
1st and 10 at the 28. So back to the ground game, and Skylar Edwards, who got tripped up. Got about 3 or 4. That was Ben Singer who got a hand on him.
Picks up about 2 on the play. 2nd down.
So 2nd down and 8.
Ball to Greeny, 26.
One thing I have been extremely impressed with on both teams in the first game, they're tackling extremely well. Both defenses are getting 11 guys to the football, so in taking proper angles, been extremely impressed, because sometimes the first game like that, you have a lot of missed tackles because haven't had a lot of game reps. But these guys, you've seen they practice extremely hard in the summertime.
Right up the middle once again, Skylar Edwards.
Skylar Edwards on the carry.
And this St. Charles Catholic offense is really taking control of this game. They are getting a lot of big chunks here, and we have an injured Greeny in the Comets backfield.
You see how much push that left side of the offensive line got that time. And you could drive 3 Mack trucks through that hole, so they did a standing job of staying low, getting a great push.
So Corbin Perino battling the cramps, and they'll have to work on him for a little bit. 8:21. St. Charles Catholic finished off the second quarter with a nice touchdown drive, and they got something building here to begin the third quarter, as Perino will have to limp off the field. Say that again.
Tonight's third quarter sponsored by Class Harris Uniforms.
For the second year running, the LHSA Network brings you a 1-hour football highlight show that covers the entire state of Louisiana, from Bossier to the Bayou. Friday night in the boot, we'll have it all, so make sure you watch every Friday night this fall starting at 11 p.m. Make sure to catch the show on the LHSA Network live channel or watch it live on the Gulf Coast Sports and Entertainment Network. At the 19-yard line, a little T formation here, Derry. And they go to Skylar Edwards. Breaking tackles all the way to the 10-yard line. Man, Skylar Edwards getting stronger as this game goes along.
St. Charles is playing big boy football right now. They're just lining up, man on man, seeing who's better, doing a great job of double team that time on the nose guard. Skylar Edwards getting behind those two fullbacks, getting behind the offensive lineman, getting upfield. And right now, St. Charles offense is imposing their will on this Newman defensive front.
First and goal at the 9. Once again, Edwards the tailback with two fullbacks in front of him. Edwards gets the carry, and Edwards is into the end zone. Touchdown, Comets. Wow, an impressive drive there for St. Charles Catholic, and they go up 18-3.
What a way to start the second half. Not only do you get in the end zone, but you run a lot of time off the clock. Again, the same T formation, follows both of those fullbacks, stays low, keeps the ball protected, gets in the end zone. Outstanding drive from the St. Charles offense to open up the second half. You could not ask for any better offensive series if you're Coach Wayne Stein.
Well, after a slow start by the St. Charles Catholic offense, they are humming along now. Billy Otto hit the extra point for the first time tonight, and it's a 19-3 lead for St. Charles Catholic on the LHSAA Network.
The LHSAA Network TV app features a 24/7 live channel as well as on-demand content with all the high school sports you want, and it's totally free. The app is available for download on TV-connected devices, including Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. It's the only place where every day is game day. Download the LHSAA Network TV app today.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
Newman's got to get it going. They are down 16, and the return there, unable to get it to the 20-yard line. George Loop on the return, and it'll still be Jake Randall as the quarterback, who has gone most of the game here tonight. As he got the football up to the 19-yard line.
This Newman offense is in a tough spot. Obviously, Jake Randall is an incredible athlete, but he's not a quarterback.
Yeah.
He's a running back. He has made a few throws tonight, slant routes, getting out of the pocket, keeping his eyes down the field, and hit a connection on the deep ball early in the first half, but this is a drive you have to score.
And he winds up and he throws one deep, and a nice job by the receiver down the far sidelines. Villery making the catch. So Jake Randall unleashes a deep pass, and that's exactly what Newman's offense needed. They quickly get up to midfield now.
Jake, I apologize. You must have heard me. You can't throw the football like a quarterback. A great job that time, a pump fake. Faked the free safety with his eyes, deceived the free safety, went to the left, went back to the right, was able to hit Mr. Collier Viller down the sideline for a first down.
30-yard pass play for Jake Randall. Randall looking over at the sidelines, and Aaron Weiss calling the plays. 6 seconds on the play clock from the 49. Randall will keep it. Randall, not much running room to the short side of the field, and gets escorted out of bounds after a gain of a couple. Might have gotten 4, according to the public address announcer. James Tyson was one of the defenders there for St. Charles Catholic. As you look at Aaron Weiss, who was the offensive coordinator at University High for the past 3 seasons. He's also coached at Central, coached in Houston for 4 years, Denham Springs at his alma mater, Redemptorist, St. Michael's. He's got over 15 years of football coaching experience. Got the job in May. Remember, Nelson Stewart didn't take that job in Atlanta until springtime. So quickly got the job, and there's another completion to Villery for a first down to the 36-yard line.
Looks like Randall and Villery has found a nice connection
yes.
on this drive. And what they're doing with the St. Charles offense, they're keeping them honest. Right here, slant route to Villery, gets upfield, nice hands, protects the football.
Creed Merrick's on the tackle. Newman trying to find the end zone for the first time here tonight. Tanner Robert now to the left of Randall. Randall keeps it, dances in the backfield for a second, and then powers ahead for about 3 or 4.
2 off the left side. Brought down by Brooks Monica.
Brooks Monica in on the stop. Next game coming up for Newman. They'll be taking on Riverside Academy in their home opener.
34-yard line.
And they'll face Sophie B. Wright. St. Charles Catholic. Always a tough schedule. They'll be playing Lutcher next week. 2nd down and 7. Another deep pass. Single coverage, and it's incomplete. Good coverage, and slow to get up is the intended receiver, George Loop. And then we have a hydration timeout with St. Charles Catholic up by 16, but Aaron Weiss and the Greenies are driving.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute. There's a flag on the play!
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
Newman driving, but they are facing 3rd down and long. As Jack Randall trying to make something happen here. Had so many good quarterbacks here at Newman. Eli Friend last year. You had Martin Butcher, Miles Lapierre, of course Arch Manning, Jay Tyler, remember him? Peyton, Eli, and now add Jake Randall as the next Newman quarterback who's going to Tulane. Back throw to the double coverage, and there's a flag that's going to bail out Villery and the Greenies here.
Pass intended again for Villery, complete. Penalty flags on the play.
Pass interference. St. Charles, number 24. 15 yards, penalty results in a first down.
That's 2 pass interference calls that the refs have called tonight that could have been touch and go right here. Just, I think it was wonderful coverage that time by Bryce Duport and Aaron Hill, bracket coverage. I didn't really see too much contact, but that's something that you want to put behind you, move on, and go on to the next play.
Randall and the Greenies at the 19-yard line. Villery is in the slot. George Loop is the wide receiver to the far side. You see Aaron Weiss in the background. Just relayed the play in. And Robert made a 1 defender miss, and then here comes a host of Comets to bring down the junior running back.
Dropped by Brooks Monica.
Brooks Monica making another tackle.
Officials timeout for an injury.
And we have another player down on the ground. And it's another Newman Greenie, and it's another cramp issue.
It's tough telling 15, 16, 17 years
Yeah.
old all week long. Make sure you hydrate. Make sure you drink water. Make sure you get your electrolytes. And obviously, they're in school as well all day long,
Yeah.
so it's very hard to do that. So you want to make sure when they did have the opportunity to make sure you hydrate. This is for all student athletes in Louisiana, especially in September, to make sure you hydrate as much as possible because the Louisiana heat and humidity is undefeated. Your season may not be undefeated, but this heat in Louisiana is undefeated.
And he got the cramping in both legs there for Robert, so he really struggling to just get to the sidelines. Yeah, it looks like a nice night out there, and it is 81 degrees, but when you've been running around here for the last couple hours, it takes a toll on your body.
I remember I caught a full body cramp my senior year at training camp in Parkview, and I thought I was going to get out of practice the next day. Coach Kenny Giap was not having it. He called me soft and told me to get my butt back on the field.
2nd down and 8. Randall, he wants to run it. Trying to juke a defender, but again, good pursuit to the football by that Comets defense, only a couple yards. 4th down, Newman's going to have to go for it, down by 16, I
Randall,
assume.
the keeper, stopped by Creed Marix in the Galaxy of Comets.
I think Aaron Weiss actually wants to call a timeout and talk about it here. Again, this is, I think, not only to talk about it, but give Jake Randall a little bit more of a breather here. Here you got a big play. You're down by 16. If you're thinking about coming back and getting back in this game, you got to figure out a way how to score on this drive.
You got to get creative, I believe, to get in the end zone. Obviously, this is 4th down territory. Maybe want to manipulate with some motion, by manipulating the safeties, do something creative to try to get this ball in the end zone. So we'll see what Coach Weiss comes up with here on his offensive play. And for St. Charles, defensively, doing a great job. You're attacking the line of scrimmage, you're moving the line of scrimmage, you're getting 11 guys to the football. So want to keep your eye disciplined, especially with a running quarterback. A la Tim Tebow, you don't want him to do that stupid Tim Tebow pass that I still have nightmares about. He did against us. So anytime you have a running quarterback, he does have a threat to act like he's going to run it and throw the football as well. So keep your eyes, keep discipline. Don't bite the cheese.
Yeah, you're right about that. Aaron Weiss was a graduate assistant for a couple of seasons at LSU. 3rd down and long.
3rd down, 6 to go.
Worked with Steve Cragthorpe, Steve Ensminger. 3rd and 7. Randall trying to make something happen, and he's going to be sacked. Oh, he threw it away, and now it's going to be a defensive score potentially here. Briggs Anderson, or are they going to say he was down? He was down. So this is not going to count. They are going to say that Jake Randall was down on the ground when he got rid of the football. But what a great defensive effort by Coach Wayne Stein's team. We'll watch it again.
Right here did a great job of getting pressure. Brought our inside linebacker blitz that time by Monica. Good job by keeping contained that time from Caden Azevedo. Again, 3rd down, big 3rd down play. Obviously, it's 4th down territory. So, like you said, Jeff, they have to go for you down 16 with 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
That was a big-time play there. So now you got 4th down and 16.
Good look that time at Caden. Let me tell you something. Make a tackle like that in the open field, open space against a talented player like Jake Randall. It shows the athletic ability that Caden had in that play, and standing home and making a tackle in the open field.
That was a heck of a play. We all know Jake Randall's a big, strong guy, so just to be able to wrestle him to the ground. The Comets are going to be the ones calling timeout here with 3:33 to go before the end of the 3rd quarter, and a 16-point lead for St. Charles Catholic. The high school spotlight is in its 3rd season on the LHSAA network, and it airs live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. on the LHSAA network live channel. The high school spotlight features all the top stories in high school athletics from around the state in all LHSAA sports. A lot of football preview packages being shown on that show in particular, the high school spotlight. So 4th and long. Again, this was a drive that looked really promising for Newman. They got some help from a pass interference call, but it is falling apart here for them at the 25-yard line.
And if I'm St. Charles right now defensively, I know it's 4th and 16, but I'm not going to sit back and give Jake Randall an opportunity to move around the pocket and make a throw downfield. I'm bringing some extra pressure up the middle to flush him out the pocket and make him make a tough throw.
Trips to the right. Villery is the man in the middle there. Keep an eye on number 14. Now they're going to go deep towards the end zone, and there's a flag, and that's going to bail them out. That should be an interference penalty called on James Tyson. He grabbed the receiver who was running past him, and this could be a break here.
Pass interference on the defense, number 28. 15-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Still going to be 4th down because you're only going to be marking 15 yards, but man, they're going to be so close to the 1st down marker.
Newman gets a big break right here. It's always tough for a defensive back. He had his head turned the wrong way. Anytime a wide receiver tries to fight back for position, and you don't have the head turned the right way, that call is simply going to go towards their receiver. So that time for James Tyson, want to make sure they has his body, head turned on his opposite shoulder to make sure he can locate that football.
Trying to get the football to Hendricks Hill. So now it's 4th down and 4. Randall running hard off the right side, and he's brought down shy of the 1st down. The Comets defense comes up with a big stand. Bryce Dupard making the play, and St. Charles Catholic keeps Newman out of the end zone once again.
Looks like Jake Randall had a lot of room out here for that 1st down, but Bryce Dupard does a good job exploding out of his hips, getting his head across, and making a tackle on a very talented quarterback / running back.
Remember, St. Charles Catholic comes into this game without one of their better players. Preston Calm out with a hand injury, and Bryce Dupard getting some opportunity to play here tonight. Makes a heck of a play, stopping Newman on that attempt to pick up a 1st down. Another Greeny player, Henry Jackson, the senior offensive lineman. He's the next player here for Newman to be battling with the cramps issue.
Big stop that time from St. Charles Catholic defense. And if you could go down on this drive and score a touchdown or even get some points, you pretty much have this game in hand.
Henry Jackson, mentioned it earlier, they're going to Cornell. They got a new offensive line coach here at Newman that's been really harping on the fundamentals and basics, trying to get better as the season goes along. They had a tough night in the Jamboree because of De La Salle and just how physical they are. De La Salle will be at Central tomorrow night to take on the defending champs in Division I non-select. Back to Skylar Edwards, who's had a really nice night tonight, and he's got himself another 1st down before stepping out of bounds. Boy, as I mentioned it in the last drive that the Comets have, he just seems like he's gotten stronger as the game has gone along, Terry.
And that's what you want from your running back. That shows a sign of a good running back, someone who can get stronger as the game goes along. And right now, this St. Charles offensive lineman is leaning on this Newman D lineman, this Newman front 7 right now, and getting anything that they want when they run the football.
1st down and 10 at the 24-yard line. Keep it on the ground. Why not? They have been getting a lot of yardage that way. Evan Dufour getting the carry. Dufour and Edwards, they're both just physical runners that run downhill. Dufour is a junior, played a little bit last year as a sophomore. We'll line him up in the slot sometimes, but he's certainly a kid that always wants to try to do extra. And again, another Newman player battling the cramps issue, and a good sign of sportsmanship whenever the cheerleaders from both sides get together and celebrate high school football here in Louisiana.
High school football is one of those memories, Jeff, that you cannot take back. It's one of the best experiences that you have. It's kind of like you're in this utopia world.
Yeah.
Everything is wonderful. And until you step out in the real world and you step out, you go into college and you finish college, you realize how precious and how fun those times in high school was. So definitely, favorite high school student and student athlete, take advantage of the opportunity, enjoy it, embrace it. And don't be in a hurry to get out of mom and dad's house, because when you're out that house, look, you're on your own, but enjoy this time and take advantage of it and do the right thing.
Edwards, a seam, across the 40, into Greeny territory before he's dragged down. St. Charles Catholic fans, they want the horse collar penalty, but they're not going to get it. But still, a really nice run by Skylar Edwards.
Great job that time by Skylar Edwards. The third time tonight they ran that straight zone play. They did a great job that time, Jeff, by sealing the edge, getting the defender around, and giving Edwards some running lanes to get upfield for a huge first down, a big game for the St. Charles offense.
At the 47-yard line, back to the I formation, and the Comets. And they give it off to Dufour. Dufour gets tossed to the turf. A flag comes in from the defensive secondary. Jack Falgu made the tackle, gain of about 2. And we'll get word on what the penalty is all about.
Wow, face mask. Newman, number 10. 15 yards is added on. First down.
Big 15-yard penalty going against the Greenies.
From the green 30, first down, Comets.
So the football now at the 30-yard line as the Comets are on the move again, already up 19-3. LeBlanc. Finally, some penetration into the backfield, coming around the edge and making the tackle. That was A.J. Unisa, who's been all over the field here tonight defensively for Newman, and they stopped him right at the line of scrimmage.
Good job getting penetration. Trying to get something going defensively right now for Newman. So try to get in the backfield and see if they get some stops, get some pressures, do some stunts, some different things from the front three, from the defensive lineman. Anytime you're undersized on D lineman, you want to do some slants and stunt routes to get pressure up the middle.
Minute 35 and counting is the actual time in this game, and there's another nice job. Somebody's got to block number 28 here, and that wasn't Unisa that was coming around the edge. That's right, that's Archie Kasparian, who's coming around the edge there and making some tackles, and only a yard gain.
Yeah, Archie Kasparian has made a lot of plays tonight from that star position. Done a great job of being patient, made a lot of tackles, so he's been a highlight for this Newman defense.
So 3rd down and 9. LeBlanc will bring them up to the line of scrimmage. Walker LeBlanc, the wide receiver, all the way towards the near sidelines. Dufour was in motion, and keeping it, though, is Landry LeBlanc to the 24-yard line, bringing up 4th down. Comets do not have to run another play here in this quarter.
Dominating third quarter from the St. Charles team. They came out, second half made a lot of adjustments, so I think Coach Wayne Stein is very satisfied how they came out in this third quarter. Head to the fourth to see if they can finish strong.
I mentioned it earlier, it's been a shaky start for the Comets offensively, but they have found their groove as this game has gone along, and they're 12 minutes away from getting win number 1. They're up by 16 over the Newman Greenies on the LHSAA Network.
The LHSAA Network TV app features a 24/7 live channel as well as on-demand content with all the high school sports you want, and it's totally free. The app is available for download on TV-connected devices, including Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. It's the only place where every day is game day. Download the LHSAA Network TV app today.
At Auctioner, We know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
Set to begin the fourth quarter from Laplace. Jeff Palermo, Derry Beckwith, Steve Schneider with you in the St. Charles Catholic Comets, facing a fourth down and in a short 5, up 19-3. Pitch out to Edwards, and he's got a lot of room to run to get the first down. Skylar Edwards has been moving the chains here for St. Charles Catholic, and the Comets keep this drive going.
Again, great job that time running the speed option to the short side of the field. Did a great job that time. Landry LeBlanc being patient, pitching the ball at the last minute. Edwards using his hands right here, gets to the defender, pitches at the last minute, gets to Edwards, gets up the field, and picks up first down for the St. Charles offense.
At the 15-yard line, first down and 10. Greenies need a turnover or something here. That time they were able to bring Edwards down right at the line of scrimmage. Again, their only success here is just coming off the edge. Again, Kasparian has got to be quick off the line, get around that tackle, and hopefully you're able to get the ball carrier before he gets behind or beyond the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Kasparian's done a great job again all night long, coming off the edge. Seems like St. Charles is leaving him unblocked to see if he's able to make the play and get those one-on-one matchups and see if they make a miss. But for the most part, he's done a great job of making the tackles and getting there. It's been an extremely great fit for this Newman defense tonight.
Keeping it was LeBlanc. He got popped pretty good there as he picked up about 4 or 5.
Tackled again by Castellian.
Nick Gardner was one of the defenders there that time for the Greenies.
On the Greenie 11-yard line.
So third down and 7. Been a good game here for Landry LeBlanc. He's thrown a touchdown pass. Skylar Edwards has got a touchdown run. LeBlanc rolling out to the end zone, off the hands of the receiver. Oh, you'll be thinking about that one all night. It was another good play call there, but Gabe Kugler could not bring it in.
Great play design that time to get Landry on the edge. Little play action, bootleg, rolls out, keeps eyes down the field, and man, Kugler's definitely going to want that one back.
So here is Tyler Miliotto. 2 years ago, what a great season this young man had. A field goal to send St. Charles Catholic to the dome, and he hits the upright, and it goes in. He's living right this year. Man, he not only hit it, I thought he was going to knock down the upright there. He hit it so hard. Had those goalposts shaking. But it gives you an idea of just how well it's been going for St. Charles Catholic ever since the late portion of the second quarter, as Miliotto gets his first field goal of the season, and that increases the Comets' lead to 19.
Miliotto practices that. So he says he practices it, he hits it on the left upright. So that's something that he has in his books.
Yeah, I don't know about that, Terry. I don't think that's accurate. But he had the game-winning kick against Lutcher a couple seasons ago, and then he made the kick in overtime. to send the Comets to the state championship game in 2023. He also made a field goal in the state championship game in 2022. And that started the rally against the Dunham Tigers when they beat Neil Weiner's team in 2022. This kid has broke the school record twice for goals scored on the soccer team. And he was another guy that was injured last season. I mean, you know it's a bad season for the injury bug when your kicker gets hurt, right? You just got to just sit there and shake your head and say, who else is going to get hurt on the team?
Injuries can definitely decimate a team. It can decimate your season because you have all these plans and different schemes with certain players, and when they go down, it is the next man up mentality. You never want to give your kids an excuse to lay down. Obviously, the St. Charles Catholic program prides itself on mental toughness and discipline. So I know Wayne Simon's not going to let them have any excuses. He didn't have any excuses last year. If they stay healthy this year, I think this team can make some noise.
2024 really ended on a sour note with the loss of John Talley, the team's strength coach and offensive line coach, and the special teams coach passed away last November. So that also shook this program. They had a moment of silence for Coach Talley before the start of tonight's game. Randall will throw, and he missed his man that time coming across the middle, Villery. It'll be interesting to see. We heard from Steve Schneider earlier in the game that it was the plan all along, according to Coach Aaron Weiss, to play Jake Randall, even though when we spoke with him, the plan was to use both Ren Guidry and Jalen Hunter tonight. But they decided to go with Randall. But it'll be interesting to see how this evolves for Newman offensively this year if they do stick with Randall as their starting quarterback.
I mean, I like it, what they're doing. Jake Randall, he's an extremely tough runner, very smart, takes care of the football.
Yep.
So we'll see moving forward, and obviously going against a tough matchup tonight.
Yep.
But again, guys played as hard as they possibly could, and I think Jake Randall is going to need an ice bath tonight with the amount of carries that he got, the amount of hits that he's taken. So we can see if this is sustainable all season long to have Jake Randall back at their quarterback position.
3rd down and 10. He's got the arm. He can certainly do that. It's just a much different look than what you are accustomed to seeing when it comes to a Newman offense. Pressure coming on Randall, so he gets out of the pocket. Randall tight ropes the sideline. Did he get the first down? Let's see where they mark him down.
Randall tucks it and runs around the left end.
And it looks like he's going to be short by about 4 yards.
Well, about the 25.
So let's see if Aaron Weiss just decides to go for it. Now it looks like they're going to bring the punt team out.
Right here again, drops back to pass, doesn't see anything, rolls out to his left, keeps his eyes down the field, doesn't force it, almost picks up a block, and man, that was real close to get that first down.
Really close. Out the punt here for Newman, Alex Roth. And Kristen McLean, who started the scoring tonight with a 96-yard punt return for a touchdown. So we're seeing Newman's offense struggle tonight. I do think you got to give this is not a good punt. It will take a Newman bounce, and it will actually roll into St. Charles Catholic territory to the 49.
He's caught down with the count at 49-yard line. First down,
So the Comets at the 49-yard line. But as I was saying, Newman, we're seeing their offense struggle here tonight, Terry. But I think you got to give a lot of credit to St. Charles Catholic's defense. They have played terrific tonight, and Wayne Stein, who's trying to get this team back to the state championship game, realizes he might have the guys on defense to get that done.
They did an outstanding job tonight. They did some different pressures up the middle with their linebackers and with Monica, who's the leader of this defense. So I think moving forward, there's some things that they can improve on. They're definitely not going to be satisfied. It's a long season, but tonight they did a great job of stopping this Newman offense.
Nice job there. Running around the right end, Landry LeBlanc kept it, picked up the first down, and this is a common theme we've seen in this football game. St. Charles Catholic getting a lot of yardage on big chunk plays.
I think as the season goes along, when Landry LeBlanc gains more confidence, I think this team will take the next step. As he goes, his offense goes, and even there you see the burst, you see the athletic ability from the get downhill and pick up a first down. So I think once he gets more confidence and start ad-libbing, like Coach Wayne Stein says, the sky is the limit for the St. Charles offense.
Skylar Edwards all the way to the 20-yard line.
Just a big, tough physical run that time for Skylar Edwards. You alluded to it earlier, Jeff. The more this game is going on, the stronger Skylar Edwards has gotten. It's like he has a brand new body in the second half, brand new fresh wind in the second half, and the guy's getting stronger every time he gets the football.
That was Jace Irving, a freshman who's out there now for Newman, up to the 21-yard line. Running around the left end, and Dufour gets tackled after a pickup of a couple.
And for Newman, even though you're down 19 points in the fourth quarter with 8 minutes left, you still want to finish strong.
Yep.
This speaks volume about the character and the integrity of your football program and what you want to establish. So continue to play sound football, play within your system, play discipline, and continue to work on the things that you need to work on.
Second down and 7. We got 7:53 and counting. Sorry, the time is not up on our graphic there. As this is Edwards, just keeping those legs pumping, refusing to go down.
Edwards grinds around the left side.
Picks up a few more yards for Skylar Edwards, who's had a really nice night tonight.
Good physical runner. I believe Skylar Edwards is going to make somebody extremely happy on the next level.
Right.
Has great vision, and like I said, for me, for a running back, it's not how they start the game, it's how they finish the game. And every running back that I've seen, every running back that I've played against, the great ones get stronger and stronger as the game goes along, and that's something that Skylar Edwards possesses and something he's shown tonight. So I believe this guy has a bright future on the next level.
Third down and 5. Gets another carry, and oh no, keeping it. He faked everyone out, and it's LeBlanc into the end zone. Touchdown Comets. Fake the handoff to Edwards, who got tackled behind the line of scrimmage, and then Landry LeBlanc ran it around the right end for a score.
One thing I'm going to say about us, Jeff, we're very authentic, and I'm not going to lie to you. I thought Edwards had the football. I was getting ready to say, man, what a nice another physical run by Edwards, but Landry LeBlanc, outstanding job of faking that play action and getting the ball around the corner and getting to the end zone. He is a magician with the football. He's going behind his back. I mean, he's making the ball disappear. What a night for my man Landry LeBlanc, and chest bump right there with Coach Wayne Stein.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
Everybody fired up, and I know Coach Wayne Stein loving that. Again, in the first quarter, St. Charles Catholic just couldn't do anything offensively in this game, but man, ever since that drive towards the end of the first half, they have played nearly a perfect football game, especially considering it being week 1. Let's send it down to the field. Steve Schneider has a Hall of Famer standing next to him.
You are so right. They told me upstairs, look for the youngest coach you can find on the sideline and talk to him. So Frank Monica.
Hope they should also include the tallest guy, right?
What is this? What does this night mean for you? Your name's on the stadium. You've also got a great grandson playing linebacker out there.
Yeah, it means an awful lot just to come back and watch him play, and naturally watch the legacy of my nephew naturally, and just watch the team just kind of unfold. And hopefully that you left them something that they can use forever and ever. And I really like the way that they're playing right now. And that's against the opening ball game is always hard to get all flaws and things of that nature from personnel groupings and stuff like that. And you know, you really worry about that, but it looks like they took care of business tonight.
2 weeks ago, right after they played U-High in the scrimmage, he kind of gave them a strong warning, like St. Charles football is tough, and you guys need to get a lot tougher. Do you think we saw some of that here?
No question. I think that, you know, they always said a team improves more from the first to second week than any time during the year. And I think that U-High is an excellent football team. They have great personnel. And when you go there, you don't know what to expect because you don't have all the film and you don't really know what you're going to do in terms of offense and defensive players and the scheme. So I really think that they learned an awful lot about that, and they always do. Even the years when I was a coach, U-High always got the best of us in the scrimmage.
Great seeing you again and visiting with you. A Hall of Fame coach and the guy who started the Louisiana Football Coaches Association way back when, Frank Monaco.
Good stuff there with Steve Schneider and the coach, Frank Monaco, who has established a great tradition here at St. Charles Catholic. Pass there incomplete. Unable to get the ball there to Patrick Dugan, who's into the game now here for Newman, and it's 2nd down and 10. From the 20-yard line. Ren Guidry's in at quarterback now. Good opportunity for him to get some snaps, live game action. No chance to get the running game going there with Robert.
Extremely impressed by the St. Charles Catholic defense. Being up 29-3, you can easily give up. You can easily not be in your gap, not using your eyes properly. But for them to still come out and fight and do well against the run, it speaks volumes about the culture that they have here at St. Charles Catholic, because in a game like this, being up by this many points, you can easily go back into some bad habits that can carry over into the next week. So they're doing a great job of still playing within the scheme and playing within the system and playing extremely hard as they get a sack that time right there on Ren Guidry.
Yeah, they were bringing the pressure, and Byron Bailey, who's been getting into the backfield a lot here tonight, got himself a sack. And there is a Newman player thriving, or really he's in a lot of pain back there. That's Augie Goska.
Right here, Bailey splits the double team, gets skinny, gets in the backfield, and the big man gets a sack and does his dance. I love to see D linemen get a sack, especially D tackles, and they celebrate. Always good because a lot of those guys don't get any credit. They do a lot of the dirty work that goes unseen on the line of scrimmage, whether it's a D tackle or D end, and they allow linebackers to fly around, make plays. They allow the DBs and the secondary to get interceptions because of the pressure that they're getting up front. So when they do have an opportunity to get a sack, do your dance.
Alex Roth standing at his own goal line, ready to punt it away. McLean back to return. Is that a fake, or I'm not sure. I don't know. Or was it a bad snap? St. Charles Catholic is going to have the ball at the 7-yard line. I wonder if Byron Bailey was involved in that too. So now the Comets get the ball back at the 7 as things have just really got, he never got that ball off the ground. It is really falling apart here for Newman. Not the start to the Aaron Weiss era that they were looking for. Landry LeBlanc, 1st and goal at the 7. Hand the football off to Dufour. Dufour got driven back once he got to the 2-yard line. And we're going to get a hydration break. St. Charles Catholic dominating the Newman Greenies tonight, 29-3 on the LHSAA network.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard. Part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
29-3, St. Charles Catholic making a statement on opening night of the 2025 high school football season. And they're looking to score some more points. Landry LeBlanc and the Comets have it 2nd and goal at the 2. Skylar Edwards looking possibly for another touchdown here. They pitch it to him, and he walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Comets, 35-3.
What a night. The senior running back, Skylar Edwards. It's a great job to finish it off with a touchdown. A little toss left that time. Get a motion out the backfield. Looks like me and you could have walked it in, Jeff.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I still think I can run a little bit. That's in my mind, in my dreams, I think I can run. But, again, Skylar Edwards, a phenomenal night. Running behind his offensive lineman. One thing I noticed about a good running back, he always goes up to celebrate with his own line. That's a really smart man.
Yep. Well, look at the job they do here. They make it easy for him to get into the end zone. Everybody's blocked. And a 36-3 score here for St. Charles Catholic over a really proud football program in the Newman Greenies, who are taking one on the chin here tonight.
It's like, what a tale of two halves.
Yeah,
the
right.
first half, it was the defensive struggle. It looked like St. Charles couldn't get anything going offensively. But the big play before the half, the touchdown, was a great momentum swinger, and they took that and carried over to the second half. And Newman offensively just never made any adjustments. And obviously, when you're not moving the ball offensively, you put a lot of pressure on your defense, and guys are going both ways as well. It looks like one team just had a little more juice coming to the second half.
Ilioto's kick, good end-over-end kick. That's actually going to get in the end zone. Yep, touchback. And with 5:50 to go, Newman gets the ball back. And at this point, if you're the Greenies, you just would love to at least get a touchdown on the scoreboard. Try to put together a drive, see if you can score 6. Have something on that film that you can look at and say, okay, this is what it's supposed to look like.
These are important reps for Ren Guidry as well, because at some point you're going to need them.
Yeah,
you're going to need the other quarterback as well with Landry. But I just don't think it's sustainable for Jack Randall to take that type of physical strength all season long, running the front of the football. So this is prime time right now for Ren Guidry to run the offense, stay composed, and make sure that he can get something going.
Guidry will throw out to the flat. And the receiver gets up. That's Thomas Smallpage, who caught one pass last year. And it's now 2nd down and 5.
And St. Charles defense still have most of their starters in.
Yeah. Jake Randall watching the rest of this game. He did all he could try to come come away with the victory here tonight, but no reason to risk him right now. And again, you kind of want to give Ren Guidry a look here. Maybe we'll see Jalen Hunter, the freshman, before this night ends. Seems like they're really high on Jalen Hunter. Thing is, he's just a freshman, so you got to keep working with him. And again, go back to it. I'm trying to make excuses for Newman, but Aaron Weiss takes over in May. That's tough. I mean, you don't even really have a chance to get a spring in, and then you're quickly into 7-on-7s, and everything's moving at you a mile a minute. And a drop pass, that doesn't help anything either if you're a Newman Greenie. As unable to make the grab was Elliott Rice. So it's tough. It's tough when you only just have a few months. St. Charles Catholic, they started their season in January. Yeah, the weightlifting, and not to say that Newman didn't either. You had Nelson Stewart as the coach, and you were going through that, and then all of a sudden a guy that you have in Nelson Stewart, who you think is going to be the head coach at Newman, has been there for 19 years, is going to be there for another 19 years, all of a sudden leaves. I think that's a shock to the system for everyone involved. But Aaron Weiss is a good coach. This guy has won a lot of games. He's been an integral part of a lot of great systems. It's kind of, when you look back at his time at Redemptress and the coaches that were on that team, you had Sid Edwards, who was the head coach. You had David Brewerton, who's won 4 state titles, and a runner-up at Zachary was a coach on that staff. Guy Mistretta, who won 2 state titles at Redemptress and 1 at Livonia. Neil Weiner, a couple of runner-up finishes at the Dunham School. Joey Sanchez, who was a former head coach at St. Michael, and then he had Eric Held, who was also a former head coach at St. Michael, who's now on LSU staff. I mean, this guy has learned from a lot of the great coaches.
That's an all-star coaching
staff.
It's crazy. That's a lot of names.
It's crazy what they had there at Redemptress.
Absolutely.
It's very sad that school is no longer around. Parkview Baptist and Redemptress, one of the best rivalries in Baton Rouge when you were playing.
Thursday night.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, I feel like the whole city, the whole Baton Rouge was at their game.
Yeah, no, it was great. There's a little run out to the outside as they go to their backups here for the comments as some other guys get an opportunity to come out there and play. That is Avante Lee, a junior running back, getting the carry, and he got about 4 yards there.
It's always good to get guys some playing experience as well, and you just never know. I think a lot of times when you see guys come in and get mop-up duty, people will just kind of say, oh, well, it's no big deal to it, but it is a big deal because you never know, especially in football where injuries are always guaranteed. You never know when a guy needs to step up. Having these game reps is very viable to success for a football team.
Ben Bordelon is the quarterback now, a freshman. That was a good hard run there, too, by the young man. That number 36 for the Comets, and that would be Harrison Ori. Did I get that number right?
Was it 46? Braden
46. Okay, Braden Nichols, a junior running back. Braden Nichols.
Don't have his mom call you. Say, hey, my baby's number 46. Get it right.
I saw 36. Well, they bring the starters back out here for 4th down and 10. They still got to get some other guys out there. Running out there, Parker Millett. He comes out there. So interesting here on 4th and 10. They're just going to do the victory formation, and they're going to do it with the starters out there. Take a knee, and that will give Newman. Oh, they picked up the first down. That's what it was. Okay. They got the first down. They ran the starters out there so they can run out the rest of the clock. I got it. But a really good season or a good night here for St. Charles Catholic. Last year was tough. And when you go to the state championship game 5 years in a row, and then you don't even have a winning season, boy, oh boy. And, their second year playing in Class 4A. We'll see if that will make a difference once they get into the postseason. I asked Coach Wayne Stein, did you recognize, was it different I didn't think so. Especially once you get down towards the end, or you get into the semifinals, championship game. I mean, all those teams are really good, no matter what level it is. But a really good performance by St. Charles Catholic tonight. Wayne Stein has to be thrilled with how well his team played, beating the Newman Greenies 36-3. Last year it was Newman winning for the first time, snapping a 3-game losing streak to St. Charles Catholic. The Greenies got 3 interceptions a year ago, but tonight Landry LeBlanc much better at quarterback. Great running by Skylar Edwards, and this Comets defense, don't sleep on them either. We'll wrap things up when we come back. St. Charles Catholic victorious tonight in the season opener over Newman, 36-3.
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard, part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute. There's a flag on the play.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
The LHSAA Network TV app features a 24/7 live channel as well as on-demand content with all the high school sports you want, and it's totally free. The app is available for download on TV-connected devices, including Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. It's the only place where every day is game day. Download the LHSAA Network TV app today.
Dominating performance by St. Charles Catholic as they win it 36-3. Tonight's game brought to you by Coca-Cola, Real Magic. Also brought to you by Louisiana Army National Guard, protect what matters. Ochsner and the Ochsner Andrews Sports Medicine Institute. And the Louisiana Farm Bureau Federation, the voice of Louisiana agriculture. Now time for our player of the game, brought to you by the Louisiana Army National Guard, protect what matters. Our first big play of the game was this 96-yard punt return for a touchdown by Kristen McClain. When we have our highlight film of plays of the year, it was our first big play, and it might be one of our best plays we'll see all season long. What a punt return, Derry.
Absolutely did a great job that time of keeping his eyes down the field, and that kind of sparked it for the St. Charles football team. Obviously, they couldn't get anything going offensively, but for him to pick up the ball, get downfield, make a great play, obviously player of the game. Big time play by that young man.
Let's send it down to Steve Schneider.
Kristen McClain, the man of the hour here. Something new this year for our game of the week, the Louisiana Army National Guard, on hand to present a trophy.
How y'all doing? My name is Stasson Butler. This is going to be Stasson Stroman, and we're here to present the Army National Guard Player of the Week trophy. Congratulations, man.
Kristen, that's one of the biggest smiles I've seen all night. Take us back to that moment.
Back on camera.
The game's tight. You're inside your 5-yard line. You field the ball. You head back towards your goal line, but it all worked out.
Yeah, I had confidence in my players to block for me. I just got the ball and I did what I had to do, you know. I'm athletic. I know I could get around these people, and I just showed my talent out there. That's all.
On this night 2 weeks ago, Coach Stein, who's been coaching here 22 years, he had a message for the guys on this team. We need to get tough. We need to get blue collar. We need to get it done. How did that work out tonight in the season opener?
I think we did pretty good. We played tough as a team. I'm really proud of my guys. I love them. They did so great, but we could fix the little mistakes and get better next week.
Congratulations on the trophy and the win.
Thank you.
Kristen McLean.
Thanks, Steve. Congratulations to Kristen McLean. What a big-time punt return, and St. Charles Catholic needed that. They needed something early on to give them some confidence, and then the other big thing or development that happened in this game was at the end of the second quarter, getting that touchdown before halftime, finally getting a nice offensive drive, putting 6 on the scoreboard. That gave them a 12-3 lead. And then in the second half, St. Charles Catholic just ran away with it with Skylar Edwards.
They imposed their will in the second half,
Yeah.
plain and simple. They were extremely physical. They ran every kind of way they wanted to run, left side, right side, up the middle, backside, anything they wanted to do, they did it. The offensive line got a great push, and Newman didn't have any chance in that second half.
Let's take a look at our highlights brought to you by Coca-Cola, Real Magic. And once again, it's all got to start here with this great punt return for a touchdown by McLean. This guy is a playmaker. You know, last year he caught 17 passes. He goes both ways for St. Charles Catholic. Ignore that flag. That was a face mask penalty that was called against Newman. So that made it 6-0. Jake Randall was the starting quarterback tonight for the Greenies. He goes downfield, finds Collier Villery. They get 3 points out of this drive, and that was really it for Newman's offense. And then St. Charles Catholic, a great play call here. Landry LeBlanc back to Skylar Edwards. Edwards gets all the way down to the 10-yard line. Then LeBlanc stands in the pocket, fires one into the end zone. That made it 12-3. And then this was in the second half. We saw a lot of this with Skylar Edwards. And then how about a field goal off the goalpost for Miliotto as he knocks it through. And then a great job by Landry LeBlanc. Faked out everyone, including the broadcasters, as he gets into the end zone for another St. Charles Catholic Comet score as Wayne Stein's team runs away with this one, winning it 36-3, the final score. Well, that's going to do it here for our first high school football broadcast of the season here on the LHSA Network. St. Charles Catholic winning it 36-3. For our producer Ryan Doyle, Steve Schneider, Derry Beckwith, I'm Jeff Palermo. Have a great night, everyone.
Buying online is easy, but not when it comes to buying medications. Counterfeit pills and other illicit substances are being laced with fentanyl. Kids are dying from these fake pills. Fentanyl is 50 times stronger than heroin. A lethal dose is smaller than a pencil point. Worse yet, medical professionals can't tell the difference between real pills and their counterfeits. Don't take anything that doesn't come from your doctor. Buying online can leave you flatlined.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Thank you.